I wanted to talk about this issue where more and more people are speaking out about the fact that the system's no longer listening to them. And it's not just that, it's the encroachment of our civil liberties that's happening. And if you don't understand what that's about, it might be that you're living in a you may be living in a rather protected bubble, kind of just outside of this encroachment. Now, there's a thing about rats moving into the property, you know, where you don't notice them until you hear them scratching, and you don't see them come. You don't see them come and go. But one day, all of a sudden, you notice something. And I'm using it as an analogy. You might be minding your own business, and the next thing you know, you've got a freaking nest under your house. Right, I'm using this as an analogy, right? Because there's a situation with a lot of young women and large populations of women who are now afraid to walk the streets because of the illegals who are breaking our laws, which, by the way, are democratic laws. And these particular laws were brought about to keep our country running in a safe, democratic fashion. But our democracy is no longer working anymore because instead there's this encroachment of a new system that's trying to take over our actual democracy with something far worse. And if you don't know what that's about, you might not have been paying attention to what's actually going on in some small local communities. There's actually I'd like to show you a clip of, I'll put the links in the description later on, but I like to put a clip of an analysis, I can't say the freaking word, of an analysis of what's happening in our country right now. It's happening just like the rats moving under your floorboards. You don't notice that they're there until they affect you directly, or you hear them and you see them, you witness them firsthand. But we're talking about a situation which is no longer in our control, which is no longer democratically controlled. It's no longer comes under the, what's the right word? Is it the auspices of our democracy? It's outside. It's an outside influence which is coming in to play. And when we object to it, when we stand up and we object to what's happening, we get called names. We get called all these other names to shame us, to what's the word? Vilify us. We are being vilified to the point of pushing us into utter silence because they do not want us to object to something which has been imposed upon us against our will. Now, our soldiers and the population of this country in the UK, England, we went to fight in wars to prevent the occupation of this country by the Nazis. We actually defended this country back then. We had this democracy, we had these things about protecting our identity, but we don't seem to have that anymore. Now, the fact that that no longer exists proves that democracy is under attack. Because if you can't defend your country against invasion and against an external illegal gang activity, then it means that we have no longer control of our own country and our lands. So there's this video, I have to switch over to it. Let's see. which told us, which basically spells out the fact that we are now living in tyranny. What is tyranny? Tyranny is when we are no longer living in a law-abiding legal framework where the country is being run by legitimate, I'm talking about legitimate oligarchs, or we are no longer seeing common sense in our society. It's now becoming total chaos. There's another video about women being attacked. Just a minute, let me find that one. Women are being attacked by illegal criminals. If I can just give me a second, I don't know where it is. I was just checking it out a bit ago. I should have queued that one up. Right. And things are exploding right now. Things are absolutely exploding right now. So this is basically third world mentality. People are screaming out.
Third world men coming into our country, dictating the way we should dress, the way we should look, we should do things. We are British women. Get them out of our country.
They don't get it, do they?
We are British women. Get them out of our country.
They don't get it, do they?
So there you go. I mean, this is what's happening. I have never ever seen anything like this happening in our country, but it's getting now to a boiling point where there's going to be civil riots soon, because people have had enough. So if I was to play a bit, this is not quite a long video, it's an analysis. I'll put the link in the description.
In order to win some compensation. It's absolutely extraordinary. Anyway, listen, why don't we go straight away to Stephen Barrett, our favourite barrister, and a man who is, of course, the custodian of all things containing common sense.
The custodian of all things containing common sense.
Now, I'm going to put the links to these videos, this information. Now, he's a barrister, right? Remember that? He's a barrister. He works for the legal system in the UK, right? When our legal system is breaking down and it no longer is effective within our own democratic society, it demonstrates that we are losing our democracy, because we are now under the influences of external forces which are, by their very nature, tyrannical, and it spells it all out, really, what is happening in our country. So I don't want to ramble on and on and on and on about all this, because they explain it all and they talk about it, and these women are upset because their kids can't go out in the street without the fear of being raped and attacked by illegal foreigners who have absolutely no British values whatsoever. They don't see women as to be respected. They see women as being something to basically abuse, do whatever they want with. They don't abide by our rules. Our democratic rules do not apply to these illegals that are coming to our country. Our country is under attack. And if people can't see that, they're living in a bubble, right? So anyway, Mike Graham does a great job. He was recently vilified and kicked off Talk TV because he was trying to speak the truth of what everybody else is thinking. He was trying to say what everybody else is thinking, but he was vilified and basically sacked because he was basically speaking on behalf of our people here in the UK. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and bye for now. I'll put the links in the description.